again, Spartans. We are ready for our reading lesson today. We are in lesson 26 in our reading book. Our story will be The Dot. We have our words to know. Number 1, teacher. The art teacher shows how to use a brush. I'm your teacher. Studied. She studied the flower before she drew it. When you study something, you look it over very carefully. I hope you studied before your last spelling test. Number 3, surprised. Give me your surprised face. He was surprised to see such a big statue. Toward. Number 4, he walked slowly toward the art table. When you walk toward something, you walk in the direction of it. Number 5, bear. The picture of the bear looks very real. Let me hear you roar like a bear. Roar. Above. These shapes hang high above the floor. My hand is above my head. Even. This box has even more crayons in it. Even. Pushed. He pushed the clay into new shapes. Ooh, I like to work with clay, don't you? So read and comprehend. Our target skill this week is going to be compare and contrast. Ask yourself how things are alike and different. Good readers use text evidence, that's words and pictures from the story, to compare and contrast things like characters, settings, or events. Use a Venn diagram like this to show how two things are alike. Compare means how are they the same? Contrast, how are they different? Compare, same, contrast, different. And let's look at the topic, visual arts. There are many ways to make art. You can use crayons or markers to draw. You can paint a picture. You could cut shapes out of paper and glue them together. A computer can be used to draw and find pictures for artwork. What are some ways you like to make art? I like to paint. You will find out how one girl makes art in The Dot. This author and illustrator is named Peter H. Reynolds. It took Peter H. Reynolds a year and a half to write The Dot. He named his character Vashti after a young girl he met at a coffee shop. Mr. Reynolds also wrote one of my favorites, Ish, as a follow-up to the book, The Dot. We like Ish, don't we? Remember Ish? Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper and said, "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." You ever feel that way about your drawing? Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There! Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a minute. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." That means the teacher wanted her to write her name on her artwork. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that," She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow. She discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots and many colors. Have you ever learned about mixing colors? If you mix blue and yellow, you get green. If I make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. So she painted all around and not the middle to make a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's dots made quite a splash. Look at all the different dots Vashti made. And people like them, and they're just dots. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Sign it." So, have you ever had trouble making art? I would like you today to make a work of art out of a dot, out of a line. You can use pencils, crayons, markers, paint, clay, whatever you have at home, Play-Doh even, and make a work of art and sign it. Then I would like you to write me a sentence about how you made your work of art and what your art is. Is it a dot? Is it a ball? Is it a horse? It doesn't have to be a dot or a line. Do what you want. So let's have art day today. It'll be fun. I can't wait to see what you make. Bye. I don't think it recorded again.